But one thing I will say is I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to give YouTube a shot. I'm going to give you guys a shot at going 100% in. I've never done that before. Like I've never had a long stretch of time where I could go in full-time YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to this familiar space where the last time we chatted here, I lost my job of 18 years and we're sort of back to square one. If you guys are new here, back in January, I posted a video about how I lost my dream job of 18 years. Basically, the TLDR version of that is I worked for a company for 18 years as a creative director in the fashion space. Company ended up closing down, I lost my job, and I basically was lost. And it's been February, March, April, May, June, about 5 months since that last video. In those 5 months, I ended up picking up some part-time work, and now I am back to being unemployed. So what happened? I mean, I'm smiling because it's a much different scenario this time around because it was my choice. I ended up taking a step back from that contract work that I was doing with the ADU company because of various reasons. Now I know, I've already heard it from my husband. Like, why would I take a step back and turn down work in this job market? Believe me, I know. I'm still getting rejection letters from January when I was applying for so many jobs, and so I definitely know how crazy the job market is, and I should be fortunate to have a job, or at least a part-time job. But here's the thing. Things have changed, and I'm choosing me first, and I'm also being honest with myself, but with the company as well. So quickly, before we really dive into it, a quick backstory is I ended up taking a part-time gig for a company. They're called Better Place Remodeling, and if you guys are looking for an ADU in San Diego area, let me know because I will connect you with them because I love them. They're an amazing company. The main reason I decided to take a step back from that contract work is because I wasn't passionate about the work I was creating for them. I didn't feel like I was providing the value that they needed and deserve as a company. The first couple months, it was awesome. I loved it. But there was a point where I started to lose my drive or my passion for what I was doing, and that just doesn't sit well with me. As a creative professional and as someone in the creative field, your best work comes from your drive and your passion on the projects you're working on. When that's gone, it's hard to fake it. It's hard to fake the funk when it comes to creative work. And I'm not saying you have to be like all in passionate about something to be able to do good work, because I've been under that agency sort of umbrella before where you have different clients, different products, and maybe their product is not something you're passionate about, but you're passionate about working on the product to get to the end goal to have a successful campaign. And those campaigns are usually short-lived because you're an agency. You're working with different products for a certain amount of time or a certain period. But for me, I had to really think hard and deep, and I'm like, do I really want to do this construction content for years to come? And the answer was no. And I was giving up pretty much a stream of income, a solid stream of monthly income. I was giving up working with a team that I grew to really, really love working with, and I was going back into uncertainty. But when I explained and expressed sort of these feelings to Donnie, he started to understand, and he was on board with me taking a step back. And I'm really thankful for him for not only understanding that, but also to have him in my life to be able to support us while I'm going through this sort of second career journey and trying to figure out the next chapter in my career. But before we get into all that, I just wanted to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this portion of the video, me. As you guys know, I am taking the leap and journey into being a full-time content creator and full-time YouTuber. And as you also know, or most of you know, I lost my job back in January. I basically had a salary 9-to-5 job for the last 18 years. And so going from that to uncertainty is a little bit scary and nerve-wracking. And so I've been trying to think of ways to increase my streams of income, and talking to some other creator friends, they had mentioned to look into Patreon. So that's what I've done. I've created a Patreon. So basically I have 3 tiers for my Patreon. The first tier is $1 a month, which is just overall general support for the channel. Again, I just have to reiterate that this is totally optional, and if you are not into this, you can go ahead and use the chapters below and skip past this little self-sponsorship. But again, so the first tier is $100. Is $1 a month just for general support of the channel. Second tier is $5 a month, and I'm calling this one Happy Hour with Mikey. And basically the idea behind this is to go live at least once a month, and In that live, we're just going to get to know each other, chat, have a Q&A session, ask me anything, advice, talk about pop culture, whatever's going on in the world, within reason, nothing political, just to keep it nice and calm, and the vibes gotta be chill, okay? But yeah, we could just like get to know each other. Aside from the lives, I'm also gonna have a member shout out for all of my patrons at the end of each video. Third tier is $10 a month, and this is what I'm calling monthly one-on-ones. And basically you're getting everything in the previous tier, but then you're also gonna be getting a one-on-one with me. I feel like this is a way for us to connect and me to actually really give back to you in terms of like if you're needing advice on YouTube strategy, UGC content creating strategy, or how to reach out to brands, or just life in general. You wanna know more about being in a gay relationship, or maybe you need some advice about buying your first home. Honestly, this is your time, so our one-on-ones can be whatever you want to talk about. So yeah, this is what I'm calling a one-on-one with Mikey. Also included in this tier is a follow back on Instagram. That way it opens up another line of communication via DMs. So in between our calls, if you have any other questions or just want to like chat, you can hit me up on Instagram as well. I don't know, I'm really nervous about introducing this, but at the same time, I feel like, why not? What do I have to lose? Like I said, going all in, so I have to figure out ways to basically make money. Because AdSense really is, yeah. You don't make a lot of money on AdSense. The way you make a living on YouTube is basically your brand deals, your sponsorships, and things like Patreon. So I hope this isn't annoying or like a turnoff. It's just where I'm at right now, and I hope you understand. And again, this is totally optional. Also, if you have any advice on this tier system, or if you think the payment structure is a little off, comment down below and let me know. I'm totally willing to adjust based on some feedback I get from you guys. This is just something like I kind of looked at other creators' Patreons to see and gauge what they're charging and what they're providing, because obviously I want to provide some sort of value if you're spending X amount of money. So yeah, again, thank you to myself for sponsoring this portion of the video. And you know what, dude? The crazy thing is, when I was thinking about taking a step back, I was filled with so much doubt. I was like, is this really the right move? Like, is this the responsible thing to do? When I wrote my resignation letter, I typed it all out and I just felt this huge weight lifted off my shoulders. But still, I had my doubts. And then I went to my backyard and, you know, this is gonna sound so dramatic, but like I looked around and I was like, are you ready to give this all up? Don't worry, we'll be fine financially. But in my mind, that was kind of like the thought process. You know, I was going crazy. I was like, if I don't have work, might have to sell this house and we can't afford it and da da da. And the reason I went to the backyard is because that's sort of like our pride and joy of this house. And as I was looking around, a butterfly literally just like flew by me, went around my body and left. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. I get it's spring and there's butterflies around, but A, I hadn't seen a butterfly this spring yet. And B, why at this exact moment did this butterfly like decide to like fly around me? So I grabbed my phone and I was like, butterfly significance. And this popped up and it says, butterflies have spiritual significance across many cultures and practices. They can include transformation, they can include rebirth, representing new beginnings, fresh starts, spiritual guidance. They can be messengers from the spiritual realm. And you know, I just honestly took that as a sign that like, okay, maybe the universe is telling me something. Maybe they're saying you're on the right path. And so I slept on it. So basically the next morning I sent my resignation letter. And then again, I went back outside. I didn't go with the intention to find like a sign or get some sign from the universe. I just went out there to get some fresh air. And all of a sudden, 3 hummingbirds come by. 2 of them are like flying around in my olive tree. And then another one just lands on my market light. And it's like literally right next to me. And I'm like, aren't hummingbirds usually scared of humans? Like, we're so big, they're so small, and like I'm like moving around and it's literally just kind of like chilling there. I was like, oh my god, let me grab my phone. I'm out here again contemplating my decision, and hummingbird, another butterfly just passed by. What's going on? Crazy. So then I was like, oh my god. So I'm like Googling hummingbird significance, and this popped up. Hummingbirds have many different meanings in various cultures, including love, joy, good fortune, a messenger of these things in folklore and symbolism, It could be healing in the Native American culture. Hummingbirds are healers who help others. Could be good luck. Could be a symbol of a good sign. A loved one is watching over you. Restoration, rejuvenation, enjoying the beauty of life, freedom, independence. 2 days in a row, these signs, I'm going to run with them and I'm going to take them as this was the right move for me. Honesty is always the best policy. That's where we're at with this new unemployment part 2 journey. Never thought I would be here. But here we are, and we're going to get through this together. So I guess the next biggest question is, what's next? Like, what do we do from here? And honestly, I don't know. I know for sure I'm not going to go start applying for jobs. I think that was probably my biggest mistake after losing my first job of 18 years. I jumped into something so quickly. Literally lost my job January, went into panic mode, applied, did a few interviews, and I was already in my first few meetings with this new company by February. So literally not even a month. Again, grateful, but that could have been a mistake on my part. But one thing I will say is I am going to invest in myself. I'm going to give YouTube a shot. I'm going to give you guys a shot at going 100% in. I've never done that before. Like I've never had a long stretch of time where I could go in full-time YouTube. Give this whole starting a business with my YouTube, focusing on my own brand and seeing if I can make something of this, because this truly is my passion. Sharing my stories with you guys and sharing my life with you guys. I want to see if I can make this work. So editing Mikey here, and honestly this was supposed to be just an intro to my next vlog, but as I'm editing I'm realizing this thing is over 10 minutes long, so I think I'm just going to keep it at that as just a light update of my second unemployment journey and announcement of trying to go to YouTube and doing this full time, and also the announcement of my Patreon, which again I just want to reiterate, totally optional, and it's just another way for me to try to make a small stream of income as I embark on this journey. Honestly, liking, commenting, and being subscribed is all the support that I could ever get from you. And so yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And if you can, try to choose happy over sad today, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye everyone. Wish me luck. I love you guys. Okay, I'm gonna try to do a thumbnail for my I'm gonna try to do a thumbnail, so. Too cheesy? I wanna kind of smile because I'm not sad. Like I told you, weight lifted off my shoulders, so. But then that's kind of weird, I'm smiling and unemployed again, huh?